I'm Jack Watson, UI UX designer, illustrator, animator, donut connoisseur, and I say this every time, but today is my favorite day of the challenges, the Illustrator challenge recap day for the community. Today is all about you in the community. We're going to be taking a look back at your hard work. We will look at we'll look at as many Discord submissions as we can. Please ask any remaining questions that you have in the live chat on Behance and on Adobe Live on the Adobe Live YouTube channel. If you're still working on the challenges, don't worry, you can still submit your work to the Discord after. And if you haven't joined our Illustrator Discord community, there's a link right below me in the description. If you want, today is the perfect day to join if you want to see what everybody's working on and get caught up in the Discord. Alright, I've already got it open here on my screen. I've also got all of our challenges that we work together in Illustrator in the background if we want to work on everything. Sean in our live chat says, I want an Adobe Live shirt. Well, I'm special. Anyways, so the first challenge that we worked on was the creating a blueprint challenge, the garden layout. We worked on using repeat grids, and this one was a lot of fun here. We've got Stian's garden here. I'll actually just open up mine so you can get an idea of what we kind of worked on. And hopping back over, Stian laid out. I loved Stian's because they added the plants like we discussed when I first made this challenge. I added some brown plants by accident, or that was just the color I had, and so they just rolled with it and made like two neighbors here that had like one had a green thumb and the other one had brown plants. So I also see Turtle in the chat, and Turtle, I went and pulled. I'm actually gonna let's take a detour. Turtle had a great question, and I want to address it in the Discord, and that was. Turtle wanted to know if I had any design book recommendations. So just for you, Turtle, I went through my library and I grabbed some before the stream. So let's hop over to Overhead Cam. And you can see here I pulled a bunch of my favorite books. Wayne White here is my artist hero inspiration there. You all have seen the logo book before. I use this one a lot when I want to reference a specific kind of name. For a logo, like we did the negative space logos, for example, kind of looking at this book. This is another important book, the Grid Systems and Raster Systems book. I like this one for, it's mostly geared towards print, but it also has a lot of great information about just using a grid system in general, how you can kind of break up a design. I would highly recommend this one, although I think it's out of print, so it's a little bit hard to find. These here are some color books that I really like. I don't really have a name for them. They just say a dictionary of color combinations. So if you ever want to find some like really great color inspiration, these are really cool. As well as I can recommend Joseph Alber's color book, which I don't actually have here with me. House Industries, The Process is the Inspiration is another great one. And then of course we can't forget our list here of design books, Turtle, without Draplin Design. So there you go, a whole bunch of graphic design or just design books, a range of things, inspiration, instruction for you to kind of take a look at if you want to go review the stream replay, capture those. Alright, moving back into our challenges, I just wanted to take a detour there to show off some books for that question. We've got more garden blueprints. Maya B here with the really nice range of plants. I love the little broccolis here. Also the sizing, you guys did a really good job of making sure that you took into consideration the size that all of your plants needed to be, and also like went really above and beyond and added all of these different styles of plants. People added different fences, different kind of like these bushes are outside of the gardens, which was really creative and I thought a lot of fun. Got some past challenges here with Claudie. Sveta with their garden here. Sveta did a really nice job adding the like details, like the details on this tomato. Remember I kind of mentioned that you don't have to draw things sort of from the top down. You can draw things in a way that kind of like is clear what the plant is. So in this case they chose to just represent the tomato so they could know what that plant was when they were looking at the key. It was very easy for them to identify. So Kadyrov or Robert. Robert's always working on the challenges. Always nice to see. Did 3 garden beds, a little kind of like side bed here with some flowers, which is really nice. And then our next challenge was the surface design patterns. We've put together these designs on mock-ups. Sean in our chat says, "Welcome to Jack's Shelves, rip off to Tony's Unshelved." I don't know what that is. You'll have to tell me what that is. Turtle says, "The garden exercise reminds me of Harvest Moon, a farming game. You could totally make a little, like, farming game kind of UI or something like that in Illustrator with that challenge. That would be a lot of fun." Doreena's always working on the challenges, putting together some cute little, like, I don't know, these are like little bears, little bear paper. Gerard's also working on the challenges, always. Really appreciate you, Gerard. Gerard added these pink wings to the bee that I feel like a lot of people went back and kind of followed, and I really, really like the pink color you used here. It just kind of, like, really, like, I don't know, feels very spring. Really pops against that background. I loved it. Robert again. Robert went really detailed, but also kept it really simple, like the shapes and everything, which I think worked really well. So you can tell what this is even at small sizes. But then you can, when you like blow it up, you can see like all of this intricate line work and shapes in the trees and stuff like that. That's really nice. This one I think worked really well in terms of like it doesn't get too muddy when it's scaled down, but it has a lot of nice detail. Like drawing people really small sizes is quite the challenge. And then moving on to the stamp, somebody in the chat said that the stamp was their favorite challenge. I think it might have been Umacorn. Umacorn liked the stamp challenge. I actually went along. I'll show you my kind of finished designs here as we go. And if anybody has questions about these, let me know. I can kind of re-go over some of the stuff that we did here. But this was what I ended up doing. The Adobe stock photos over here that we referenced. To finish off the dog. So you can see I did. Yes, I did. Everybody said it looked like a goat. I went back in and I added the tail so it didn't look like a goat anymore. I think they said it was looking like a goat. But we added the tail so it kind of ended up looking finished. And the tail, it's just circles. So if we kind of break this down, right, we pull these out, it's just 3 circles, actually 4, I think, that make up the tail with some little triangles on the ends, just like we talked about during the challenge. So let's take a look at everybody's work here. Oh, this one was really nice too from Lindley. Lindley did a sort of different perspective, which I didn't even think about when I put together the little tiles for you. That you could do something from kind of a front view and sort of like have the implied depth of the bed using kind of like the single tile here, which I thought was really cool. I didn't even think to do that. And also just like really layered these sunflowers with lots and lots of detail. Like these are gorgeous. I would love to see a large illustration of just the sunflowers or any of these plants really. You can see there's tons of detail in these plants. Larger would be really nice. Turtle says the triangles are fun. I'm glad you all liked the liked that one. This is Tim here. Tim, I think you're in the chat. I know that Tim had a little bit of like trouble, it looks like, getting the pattern to apply. You can see some people had this problem getting they were accidentally like selecting everything and applying it to the shadows. So if we kind of go in here, remember in my starter file that I made for you, if I pull this open, remember that you want to just apply your pattern swatches to where it says pattern goes here. If you accidentally like apply to, if you select the shadow, let's open up this so we can see. You're gonna have, that's what's gonna end up happening. Or if you like select the whole thing here and you apply your pattern swatch, you can see that it then kind of applies it to that. So you just want to make sure that as you're going through here, if you're not sure that you have the right thing selected, just use your layers panel and open it up and just select, you can actually select one layer and hold down Command and select multiple layers not in the same order. So I can just kind of holding down Command or Control if you're on a PC, and you can select those different sections kind of like separate from each other. You can see they're not in a row, so if you hold down Shift, they're going to select all at once, but if you hold down Control, you can kind of click these separate ones to kind of select them all at once and apply your pattern that way. Let's head back over, scroll on through. Gerard with this nice, I believe this, did you tell me what this was? I don't know if this is like a specific type of deer. I think it might be. I feel like I saw this on the endangered species list, and I don't remember what the name of it is. It has a very particular name, so let me know if you think of it. Oh, Lindley with these little squirrels. These were so fun. This is a trick you can do with the blend and a roughen, so maybe let's demo that if you guys were curious how Lindley did that. I'm just going to draw out 2 ellipses here, and we'll use 2 colors here. So you can kind of see, I'll brighten these colors up. And if I drag to select both of these, I'm going to go to Effect, Stylize, nope, where is it? Effects, somewhere in here. We're going to get there. I'm looking for Roughen. Here it is. So it's going to be Effect, Distort, and Transform, Roughen. And I'm going to like pull it out. Maybe it's not Roughen. Oh yes it is. Okay. So we're going to pull it down, so we've got our roughen effect. I've just decreased the size and increased the detail. So now we've got 2 sort of looks like 2 puffballs or pom-poms. And I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to go to Object, Blend, and Make. And then I need to go to Object, Blend. I need to increase the number of blend steps under blend options here. We'll go up. And you can see you can kind of make this cool like fuzzy line. You can actually like adjust this, it's called a spine here, to kind of add some curves to it as well. So you can kind of get a little bit of a curved look. I can also scale one of these down to kind of get that tapered look like we had on the squirrel. So if you're curious how that worked. Oh, Gerard says regular white-tailed deer. Okay. Maybe I am remembering incorrectly then. Lindley also did, I think, a similar type of a thing. No, they used the regular shapes on this. Lindley used shapes for the sloth here, so. Sean is, I don't know what Sean's talking about. Sean Kozil in our chat is talking about the solar flare tool, or are you talking about the lens flare tool? Oh, Satlin, yes, this one was so good, and I didn't get much of a chance to show this off on stream. This was Satlin's pattern, but I just loved that from a distance you can't really tell. Is this like, you might think it's just like a white or like an off-white, but there's all these little colors in here that Satlin mixed in, like some blues and some pinks, and even I think the black is actually a rich black. And so you're getting like these like subtle hints of color that almost make it look like it's hit with a warm light or something like that, which is really nice. I thought this was really clever. There we go. More of Satlin's. Yeah, Satlin did a great job on these patterns. I really liked them. Satlin also, Satlin did an updated version. Let me see if I can scroll down to it. That I want to take a look at, that has some drop shadows and stuff on it. So Robert again with the elephant. I like how Robert used not only simple shapes to do the elephant, but then extended it to the background to add even more depth to the stamp, to really give you a sense of the environment this animal kind of lives in. I thought that was really cool. I like the simple shapes on the grass kind of in front of the body, and you can see that you can tell that there wasn't like there's not a lot of detail in the body here, and that's okay, because you want the face of the elephant to be the thing that you focus on. You don't want the user to or the viewer to focus on, you know, what's going on with the elephant's body. You want them to focus on the face, and I thought that was a really nice way to handle the details there. Oh no, I want to go back to the older challenges. That's okay, we'll just do a scroll through. Oh, maybe this is in order. Okay, well I know Satlin did an updated version, so we'll just get there when we get there. Oh my gosh, Stian did a donut fish, and this made me so happy. So this was our cool line trick that we did in Photoshop with, I believe it's challenge 4, yeah, where we made those rough lines with the filled corners in Photoshop. And let me find my Discord. And Stian did a donut fish, which I love. I love this. So thank you. I appreciate you. I do love me some donuts. Gerard, I really liked how Gerard used color here. These are like, you can tell that the fish is you know, orange. This is like a goldfish. But they went with like really extreme kind of colors here. Instead of using like just values of orange, they used yellow and they used red to kind of create, I don't know, it just really like is an interesting way to showcase the highlights and shadows on an orange goldfish, to use these two colors instead. I really liked that. Gerard's garden bed catching up. Ooh, I liked Lindley's too. Lindley said, I feel like this got weird, but here's my fishbowl. Get weird. Get weird with your colors. Not everything needs to be, you know, it doesn't have to be. Your goldfish can look red in certain lighting scenarios, and so can the water. The water can maybe look a little, maybe it shouldn't look green, but I mean, like, different lighting situations, like we looked at with this challenge, can totally change the way something looks. Right? If you remember, if we go to our appearance panel here, and we find our group, where are you, group? We turn our group off. These started out as dark blue, like navy blue, but then when we added our lights, it completely changes the way that these look. They take on like the hints of purple because we use warmer lights. So take that into consideration, that not everything needs to be, you know, you can have a little bit of fun. You can, you know, play with lighting, play with color. Oh yeah, Dorina did this other pattern which had these really nice like swirls and stuff going on. I thought this would be a cool holiday paper. Yeah, Lindley did a few versions here, and I am here for all of them. Umacorn said, Donut Fish got me. Great idea, yeah. Oh, Smash Tooth. I wanted to show these. These are so gorgeous, and this challenge was, I guess, a little bit inspired by Smash Tooth. So Smash Tooth was doing these stained glass windows for a 3D project that they're working on. And they did a bunch of variations, and this was their sun one. They also did a moon one, and they did some constellations. And I just think that this, I wasn't even thinking stained glass when I came up with the line technique we were gonna do in Photoshop, but it totally works for stained glass. So it like with the leaded kind of leaded corners. Yeah, it just kind of happened that they were working on this project when we ended up working on this challenge. So I'm really glad it kind of worked out and they were able to use this. But they made a whole bunch of images with the technique, which is awesome. Satlin, this is Satlin's stamp. I think I had recommended to kind of remove some of the details to give it more of that like cut paper look, and they also kind of, they added more texture here. So I thought this had a cool, kind of a different spin on the simplified illustrations for the stamps. But I think it works. I think that this is kind of a more kind of abstract, obviously I like the colors because I love bright colors, but yeah, this one was really cool. I liked that they incorporated some texture brushes as well, kind of going outside of the challenge. I love it when you guys go above and beyond what I'm showing and make things your own. So always feel free that you can take things, what I do, and kind of expand on it, make something your own. You don't like the topic that we're working on, you can always kind of work on something else. Like if you don't want to make a garden, like I said, you can make an office, you know, space blueprint. If you're like rearranging your office space, this would also work for that. Little turtle here. I liked how these waves reminded me of like the stamp that the U.S. Postal Service puts on like your mail when it goes through, but it also kind of implies seaweed or some waves. I don't know if you guys can see it, the colors coming through or not, but it's like a slightly darker blue over top of the background that adds like these nice waves. Really fun. Yeah, more pink bees. Love it. I love the pink. Allison catching up on the garden here. More garden blueprints. I really liked how this one kind of looked like a garden bed. So they took like, they made two garden beds and then they actually made the key also look like a garden bed, which is really cool. Kadyrov did the line art and flat color with like really going above and beyond and trying to tackle a person, which is a really complicated thing, but I think they did a really nice job here. I like how they use, it looks like maybe they used a scatter brush or something to add the gold to the pot there. More, oh, this was cute too. This is a great example of taking it kind of above and beyond here. Jen did an Easter egg hunt in the garden. They said they don't have much of a green thumb, not much of a gardener, but they do love a good egg hunt. So I thought that was a great interpretation there. And look at the little lines on the golden egg, so fun. And the little carrots, I love it. I thought this one was a cute way to kind of interpret that challenge. Oh yeah, I really liked the, I think that, Munwillow here said, I think I failed because I was in the mood to play with gradients today. This is not a failure, Munwillow. This is gorgeous. I think that the way that you added gradients in here to make it your own works really well, especially these like overlapping scales. It started to remind me of Rainbow Fish a little bit, if you've ever read that book. And also the like gradients on the sand here give it this like pearlescent quality, which I think is really nice. So I think this turned out beautiful. I don't think that was a failure at all. Valentina loved the little fish here, loved the blues, the blue background and the kind of blue foreground. Really kind of helps the orange fish pop over top, since that's kind of like the only thing in orange. It kind of really draws your eye. Allison's bees. Oh, this one is another cool one. Jen also took the stained glass idea and did their own kind of interpretation of Starry Night, using the technique. And I really liked this like gold color in here mixed in. I thought this was a really cool way to take the challenge that I wasn't expecting with the stained glass. It was a really unexpectedly cool thing that people did. Here's the other one. Here's the moon from Smash 2. So we've got the sun, then we got the moon, using the same kind of concept here. This was really cool, and it was really fun to see somebody kind of take this and be able to utilize the challenge for a project that they were already kind of working on. Just kind of really worked out nicely there. And then we've got the little constellations here that they did. They said they did 20 constellations and so they did 22 illustrations using this technique. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh man, this one, Design Geo. You want to look at inspiration for what you can do with just simple shapes. Design Geo did this tiger, and it's all triangles. This whole illustration here that you're looking at is all triangles. Like, believe it or not. This is exactly what you can do if you just kind of layer shapes with different values to kind of create these tones. It's sort of what we were getting to with the, we were adding the little, fur pattern onto the coat here. You could really keep going with that idea, and you can build up lots of nice values here, but also lots of textures. This is like super textured, very cool with the background as well, how they use the same technique, but also kept it very dark so that the tiger comes forward in this illustration. Really cool stuff. Silent did these little jellyfish that look like they're just having the time of their life in this bowl. I also thought that the way that these lines were done here, it kind of reminded me of our enamel pin challenge, where there's like maybe these are raised metal edges. That's what I thought of when I saw this one. So some more Allison's little cheetah here. Love the long legs. It's always nice when you are working with like characters, or you want to add a little bit of personality to kind of exaggerate some features. So I really liked how the long legs kind of gave the cheetah a little bit of personality. Oh, and then we got into the, oh, don't want to skip. I want to see all of these. Don't skip ahead. We got into the animated, the kinetic type stuff. I was so happy to see everybody's kinetic type. I love that you guys embraced this challenge. I hope that you had a ton of fun going from After Effects, or from Illustrator to After Effects. And, like, you guys killed it. Like, they all turned out great. Even when they were, like, a little bit wonky, I thought this one worked really well. It kind of creates this, like, inside-out kind of, like, almost like, it reminded me of, like, a black hole kinetic type here. So, great job with all of this. I know it was a little bit above and beyond to go out to After Effects, but, like, really cool. This one, I love this one. Like, it completely changes the style of the letter from being, like, more of a standard serif to like this really funky serif when the lines kind of get heavier. So yeah, Umakun saying the cheetah reminds me of the Pink Panther character. Love it. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to get through all of these, you guys, but I was so excited to see everybody's work, so. Lindley here did the abstract 3D illustrations, and then I suggested they add these little pops of glitter to kind of brighten up those darker areas, and I thought this one turned out really cool. You guys also went really above and beyond with this by adding like the bevels in here, mixing in all of the different textures. I thought this one was a lot of fun, and it looks like you guys had a lot of fun working on it as well. Unfortunately, it looks like we are just about out of time. I wish I could spend more time looking at all of your beautiful work, but that's going to be it for this set of challenges. Thank you all for joining me this time. I hope you had fun and learned a few new tricks along the way, or at least tried some new things. Don't forget to give yourselves all a round of applause. You did amazing work on this set of challenges, but that's going to be it from me for today. We've got more live content coming up after me, though. We've got the video challenges coming up next, so bye for now, everyone.